I'm Dave Asprey of Bulletproof Radio, and you're listening to Lifestyle Locker Radio Podcast with Dr. Josh Hand. Sit back and prepare to unleash your human potential.
Hey Lifestyle Locker, Dr. Josh Hand here for the last time in 2019. I am so pumped to have this episode with you. We have been producing weekly, giving you our hearts, our mind, and our soul through this podcast. I hope you've enjoyed 2019. And I want to take this time to reflect and see what has happened in Lifestyle Locker Radio, what has happened to me personally, what has happened in my practice, my personal life, all of these different pieces of the puzzle. But I want you to do the same. If you haven't taken the time to do that, this is a great time of year to sit back and think, wow, what kind of wins have I had? What kind of losses have I had? What have I learned? What have I had to let go? And next, like Michael Jackson said, we got to look at the man in the mirror. So man or woman, we got to see who we are being, right? Are you happy with who you were being in 2019? Right? So I want to share some of this with you as well, because this is very powerful, because we have 2020 coming up, and I want to think of 2020 as a really neat thing, like your vision. 2020 vision is perfect vision. I want to make sure you have that vision for 2020. 2020 in 2020, right? So personally, I've taken on a lot of cool, crazy things, right? I have two podcasts now. One's called Healthy Life NYC, which is dedicated to our practice, right, in New York City, our chiropractic practice. And I have Lifestyle Locker Radio, which is the big vision, right, which is the global vision. We are in over 57 different countries right now. We're getting many thousands of downloads per month, and people are loving and sharing our episodes. So I want to thank you for that. Healthy Life NYC is new, is very new. It's a 2019 baby, and we have downloads happening in New York City and some outside of the city, but it's really to connect our close-knit network of our patients, as well as those looking for a healthy life in New York City. But don't worry, we do share this with Lifestyle Locker Radio. It does get shared with our practice as well, because the guests we have are amazing. And to all of our guests, holy cow, you've had a huge impact not only on my life, but those that are listening. So I want to thank everyone that has participated, everyone that has given their all, everyone that has shared the most amazing content, and even some of you that have shared some of these gifts with our patients, with our listeners. You know, we've had the Carnivore Challenge, we've had the Flash Fast, we've had all sorts of different things that have been offered throughout the year to our patients so they can take control of their life and their health. We ultimately know that people need to unleash their human potential. And I'm going to share our mission in our chiropractic practice with you. It's the acronym CHOICE. Constantly helping others innately create excellence in their health and in their lives. And that really does blend right over into Lifestyle Locker Radio. This is the way I've been brought up. This is the way I live my life, so I can live out of abundance by giving. Right? I really, this passion project called Lifestyle Locker Radio is something that's near and dear to my heart. And I want to make sure that we can keep sharing great content with all of you, right? For all of you that are listening, this is something that has been my baby for a long time, and I know hopefully you are enjoying it because you are spending the time to download and to listen and then take action, which actions speak louder than words. And that's why I'm sitting here in front of a microphone, in front of a camera, sharing with you, because these actions really are speaking louder than the words. Even though you can only hear them, you know that it's taken my time, energy, and money to put this together for you. So that being said, personally, holy cow, I've done some pretty crazy transformations over the course of this year, right? I've become mostly plant-based, not vegan, but mostly plant-based. I've done a carnivore challenge. I've ran multiple ultra marathons. I did an attempt at a 100-mile race, which many of you followed me on that journey. So thank you for that. It failed, but it was a win, right? I did finish 52.4 miles. I finished the double marathon, and almost a full marathon of that was on a sprained lateral collateral ligament, aka my knee, the left side outside of my knee, as well as broken toes and banged up feet. So I can tell you what I've learned is that there's a lot more in the tank. I have a lot more in the tank, and I know all of you do too. And I'm having this human experience just like many of you are. And in this training that I did for this 100-mile ultramarathon, being able to go in and deal with the actual physical pain is one thing. Then dealing with listening to your mind, right? Some of that subconscious, some of those old trained thoughts and behaviors that we've created with your body going like, why are you doing this? Why? You don't need to do this. What are you proving? So I had to learn to listen and also recreate a new narrative for myself. I'm doing this so I can prove to myself, one, that we have as a human race, as a human species, that we have the capacity to do so much more than we think we can, right? Years and years ago, if you asked if I would run a marathon, I probably said you're crazy, even though I did want to run one. But before I hit 40, even to a few years before, I was going, holy cow, like there's no way. When I was in CrossFit, I didn't want to run more than a couple miles. Like that was a lot of running. So now I know, headspace is everything. Our mind space is everything. And then we got to go beyond and transcend into that spiritual realm, which is a little woo-woo for many of you, but that's okay. I'm not going to push you there. I'm going to let you find your way there yourself. So that experience for me was very, very powerful, letting me know that we have the capacity to do more than we can when we put our focus to it, right? That's important. And we'll get into focus in a minute. What else? So I became vegan, and through my running, I became mostly plant-based through my running, real close to becoming a vegan during this running event because my body just craved certain foods and it didn't crave others. And most of the foods I craved were plant-based, some beans and rice and potatoes and lots of dark green leafy vegetables and all sorts of veggies. I just crave them, and fruit as well. Not as much fruit, believe it or not, but more veggies. And then I go ahead and I do a carnivore challenge, right? Where I eat meat, fish, and eggs. And, this was challenging with me because if you asked me during end of my race training where I became mostly plant-based, when I actually got asked to do this the first time, I said, no way in heaven or hell would I do this type of thing. Why would I want to eat meat, fish, and eggs? Meat usually makes me feel like crap. So I got on a coaching call with Dr. Jack Wolfson's team and went through. I said, I'm just going to do it. If I can run and make an attempt at 100 miles, should be eating meat, fish, and eggs be that much of a challenge for 7 days? I think we could do anything for 7 days. But my big thing was I don't want to support the big agriculture. I don't want to support all of the garbage meat that people are eating, right? Because there's so much crap in there, and we're ruining the planet by having this. So I had to find sustainably sourced meat, fish, eggs, things that are organic, grass-fed, yada yada yada, wild, the whole 9 yards, and I had to follow through with this program without cheating. And I went all in, hardcore, and I could tell you it was a very big challenge, but by the end I felt amazing. So I realized, okay, great. I can do mostly plant, and I could do mostly meat if I had to, right? So as I go through my journey in 2020, as we have multiple races registered for, multiple ultramarathons registered for, right? There's a high probability that I'm going to be mostly plant-based for a lot of these events. But what I realize and recognize that I'm able to build and sustain muscle a lot more than I've seen and felt with a meat-based diet, right? Meat, fish, egg-based diet versus a plant-based diet. Not that there's anything wrong with either of them, right? I don't want you to think I'm trying everything, right? I'm testing the waters. As long as it's healthy and has a health benefit, I am doing it. So I'm going to fluctuate because I want to build muscle and strength and stamina, but I also want to have that endurance to go for the long haul because there will be another 100 in my future, right? There's another 100 coming up. So what else have I learned? My practice has had its ebbs and flows this year. We're incorporating new things into practice. We're really a science-based practice, and what I say about that, mean by that is we're not like just being scientists in this matter, but we are using proven techniques and strategies that are helping people get well which are not getting well in traditional medicine. And why is that important? Because what we understand as chiropractors in our practice and in our profession is that the only thing that heals the body is the body itself, right? There's this inborn innate wisdom that is unleashed and set free from any kind of interference, that you can function, perform, and heal at optimal levels no matter what. But we also recognize this, is that incorporating a healthy lifestyle while going through this process, and hopefully for the rest of your life, you're going to heal faster, you're going to feel better, you're going to perform better, you're going to be happier, you're going to get sick less often, all of these things. So we've really been incorporating all of these strategies and tactics, and some of the learning curves for us are a little challenging, one for me or for my team. So yeah, we've had our ups and downs, and some patients don't want to participate in this type of care, and that's all right. But we want to make sure that everybody has a place to go to get the type of care that they need and the type of care that they want. I want to make that available. So our practice for 2020 is looking nice and bright. It's going to rock and roll. So if you're listening to this and you're in New York and you need a chiro that really pays attention to your spine and your central nervous system health, but also understands that you have this innate inborn wisdom inside that allows you to heal, function, perform at high levels, definitely check us out. So, and I'm grateful for my team, and I want to share that with them if they're listening. Hopefully they are. That I am grateful for them. I am indebted to them because they help make the practice what it is. They help us become the practice that we are. The doctors are performing the adjustment, right? The chiropractors are performing those alignments, those adjustments. We're doing the exams, but everything in between is done by our team. The communication, the conversations, the caring. I love that our practice, when people come in, they feel like they're in a living room. They feel like they're their aunt or uncle's or sisters or brother's house because we're so welcoming. But they're there for a reason, but they do feel so comfortable. So I want to thank my team for making that happen. And lastly, my family. Holy cow, we had a new addition this year. I had another nephew born this year. His name is Connor. And holy cow, between him and Jack, my two nephews, I'm having a blast with them, having an absolute blast. We got to go to Disney together and experience Disney with a 2.5-year-old as well as with a 3-month-old. I can tell you my arms were tired. I wasn't the only one carrying either of them, but we all had our fair share. But being able to spend time with my wife and being able to sit down and figure out what we really want to do for 2020, what kind of things and crazy things that I'm up to. And I love that she supports me in all of my, what I like to call crazy. And it's going to mean that we sacrifice certain things, but we also are going to gain certain things. So something we love, right? Like we love using our boat. I've shared it many times. We love traveling via water, but we're actually getting rid of our boat this year. It doesn't mean it's our last, but ultimately we're going to be traveling around a lot by vehicle because we want to actually, or I want to compete in a lot of these endurance races. And my wife is, Meredith is, which you've met before. She's slowly coming along to the idea that this is something that I'll be doing for the long haul in my life. But it may mean doing a little bit of road tripping around the States throughout the year to have this happen. And she is the best crew captain that anybody could ever want. And even though I felt that I may have been rude or short with her at times during my last race, she said, no, you were fine. And so thank you, Meredith. I love you for you being you, and that we get to share this crazy life together. And so it's been a wonderful journey. So for you, for everybody, I'm sharing this with you because I want you to know that I'm in it for the long haul. I'm in this to share with all of you. I'm not here just to talk about me, but I want to share me with you so you really have an idea of who I am and what I stand for and why I do what I do. Because frankly, I don't need to do the podcast. I don't need to. Nobody needs to. But I want to because I really, really feel, I like deep down inside, in my heart, my soul, that this world needs to become a healthier, happier place, that people need to be abundant in all areas of their lives. And if I'm not doing my part, I feel that there's a missing piece of the puzzle, maybe in your lives, maybe in someone else's that's not even listened to this yet. Maybe it's going quantum with this stuff, right? So I truly believe that we all have the right, that we all have the ability, that we all have the choice to be the best versions of ourselves now. And especially because we're jumping into 2020, I want that vision. I want you to create that vision of the life you truly, truly want. Whether it means quitting a job, whether it means running a 5K or an ultra marathon, whether it means getting married, whether it means getting divorced, whether it means whatever, right? I want you to set that vision, and I want you to go after it. I want you to chase it. I want you to love every second of it, even though it's going to be maybe a little challenging at times. But I can tell you those challenging times bring out sometimes the best in us and allow us to see where we can excel more and also where we need to let go of certain things. So once again, I'm Dr. Josh Hant. Thank you so much for an amazing 2019. Thank you so much for listening and joining us. And also, make sure you do unleash your human potential. I want you to do that for 2020. And for those that are listening, please shoot over to iTunes at the end of the year. Give us that 5-star review that we have worked so hard for you. And also give us a hug. If we get to see you in person, give us a hug. Give us a virtual high five, a thank you, what's up. I want to make sure we can connect as well. So thank you so much from wherever and whenever you're listening to this, day, evening, or night. I'm Dr. Josh Hant. Peace out. We'd also like to share that Dave Asprey intro was produced by Cameo.com.